the two phases I just talked about, all teaching and learning resources were managed from the unit of the ABU at the World Bank. We have a third phase, a phase of consolidation from 2003-2006. And during this phase of consolidation, ABU was then moved from Washington, D.C. to Kenya at the headquarters. And 27 countries were part of the ABU network, and some 53 learning centers were created. We do have a regional office in Dakar, as I told you before, and ABU also started delivering degree programs in computer science, in Francophone Africa, in Anglophone Africa, and also a business study program. And at that time, the ABU, the main problem was access to quality education. And ABU operates mainly through e-learning, distance learning, but using information technology and communication technologies. And the colleagues at ABU at that time had to come up with what they called the learning architecture. Learning, what is e-learning for us? E-learning is to create. You do e-learning when you create an environment, online environment, or a blended environment where teaching and learning can take place. Technology is important, but it's not the focus. The focus is teaching and learning. That is the focus. The e-learning, the e should not be the focus. The learning is the focus. We are dealing with human beings and not only with technology. The ABU come up with this architecture. I don't know if, can you see it clearly? No, I'll go through it rapidly. What we have in the African context, one of the major barriers to access to e-learning is computers, the internet, reliable power. Therefore, in Africa, if you want to implement programs, e-learning programs, you have to go around those barriers. You have to address those barriers. And this learning architecture takes into account different types of students. The students that have access to computer, not every day, but from time to time. That student is represented by someone seated under a tree. And at the extreme, my right side, you have a student who is connected 24 hours, have the ability to be connected 24 hours to a computer. And in between, you have different categories of learners. Those who can access internet from time to time. And ABU is also using different types of medium, LMS learning management systems. Currently, we are using Illuminate, and we are phasing out WebCD and also moving to Moodle. Also, we are moving to what we call mobile learning, all type of technology. What we do is to look at the technology that is available now and see how we can better use it to facilitate teaching and learning in an African environment. That is the essence of this learning architecture. Well, I came as a leader at ABU in 2007, 2 years ago, and what I've learned is that for a virtual university, there is no simple solution. You cannot say, but in Brazil, they are doing it this way, let us do it this way. You cannot say in Pakistan, they are doing it this way, we have absolutely to do it this way. We all have different contexts. What we can do is to learn from each other. And that's why this kind of forum is very important, when we can come and share and learn. For ABU, we have different objectives because of different challenges. One of the challenges is consolidation, how to consolidate, how to move ABU from being a project created by the World Bank in Washington, D.C., and to make it a true African weapon of mass instruction, as said Ephraim. So this is the first challenge. The second challenge is sustainability. I'm not sure if you know about the World Bank, but if they create a project, they put a lot of money in it. Now, how to sustain the ABU, make it a workable organization and a sustainable organization, not depending only on donor funding. That is another challenge. And the continuous challenge is to focus on increasing access to education in Africa. Some studies have proven that there is a strong link between development, economic development, and the rate of university graduates. There is a strong link. And if you look at the world, around the world, the countries that have the highest ratio are the United States, Canada, and then you come back to Europe, and then the emerging countries. When you go to Africa, the rate is so low. It's meaning that whatever we can do now, we do not have the resources to sustain economic development in Africa. Therefore, it's critical, very important to do whatever we can to increase access to education. But what kind of education? Quality education. Education that responds to the need of the context. Unfortunately, we will have to work also on policy formulation, content development, capacity building, professional work network, research and development. So the simple equation, increasing access to higher education has a lot of implication. And unless you address properly those issues, it will be hard to increase access to higher education. Now I just would like to focus on one of the projects we are working on. This is a multinational project involving 10 countries in Africa. And it is a project funded by the African Development Bank. And the activities are open distance and e-learning centers, ABU capacity enhancement program, and ICT integrated teacher education program, and gender mainstreaming. This is a list of countries and universities that are part of this project.